Perfumes. Today I wanted to do a review of some scents that were recently requested by one of my subscribers, Steve. I'm sorry in the delay in getting back to you guys with reviews, but I've been extremely busy. The first scent that I'm going to do a review of is going to be Chanel No. 19, and I have Chanel No. 19. I happen to have it in the Eau de Toilette, and then I also have it in the Parfum, the Pure Parfum. Chanel No. 19 is a really green, slightly bitter, grassy, powdery scent, and it's very sophisticated. Like a lot of the Chanel scents will, like all of the Chanel scents, perhaps with the exception of Chanel Allure for women, it has that kind of powdery signature. A lot of the Chanel perfumes have that powdery quality, which I don't mind. Some people do. They say it smells old ladyish, but what does that really mean? I don't really, I hate when people say something smells like an old lady, because I just don't know what that means. But it has a powdery quality, so it has that distinct Chanel signature to it. But it's just a very green, sharp, grassy, slightly bitter, powdery scent. And it's very astringent. It's not warm, it's not musky, but when you first spray it on, you get that green, bitter sharpness. It's very vegetal, and then once that fades down, the top notes kind of soften on the skin. You're left with, it kind of warms up a little bit because I believe it does have some wood notes in it. So a little bit of that comes through, and then you get some of the floral notes. I think there's rose and gardenia in there, and that comes, no, excuse me, rose and jasmine, that comes through just the slightest bit, but it's never, I would never consider this a flowery perfume. As a matter of fact, I'm rather surprised that it was marketed as a women's perfume and not a men's cologne, because it is very dry and sharp and rather masculine. I think the only thing that saves it from being completely and utterly masculine is the powdery quality of it. Now in the Pure Parfum concentration, I have a really small bottle of this. It smells a lot like if you've ever gone into the Chanel boutiques, or if you've ever happened upon the the fragrance in the Les Exclusive line by Chanel, it's called Sycamore. It smells a lot like that because the main note in the Sycamore composition is vetiver. And for whatever reason, in the Pure Parfum concentration of Chanel 19, vetiver comes out most prominently. So it smells, if you like, to me, it's like a slightly more feminine version of Sycamore, because it has, in addition to just straight vetiver, there is the jasmine and there is the rose. So it's nice. I do like it. So that is Chanel 19. The next scent that I'm going to be reviewing is also another Chanel scent, but this is part of the Les Exclusive line. This is Chanel Coromandel. And Coromandel reminds me a lot of Shalimar by Guerlain, but it's a little bit sweeter and a little less musky. And as a matter of fact, I don't believe there's any musk in Coromandel. The notes that really stand out to me in this the most, and this is actually one of my favorite perfumes of all time, but the notes that stand out to me the most in this would be I get, when I smell this, white, like a powdery white chocolate, in a really warm, almost syrupy amber, a dry, kind of dusty quality, which perhaps comes from vetiver, I'm not really sure. There's definitely some vanilla and then benzoin, and a hint of some wood. There's like a little bit of a woody base to it. Overall, a wonderful scent. The next scent I'm reviewing is, it's a limited edition that I believe this came out in the 90s. I think the late 90s, and it's a flanker of the original Amirage by Givenchy, which is a very famous perfume that's been out for years and years. But this is a special edition of it. It's Amirage Mirage, And it is an Oriental, and kind of like Coromandel. It's in that vein. This is an Oriental, but it's nothing like Coromandel. I'm not saying that. A Chypre Oriental, and the notes, the main notes in it are bitter orange, magnolia, cinnamon, and patchouli. There are also other notes in it. I can tell you right away, there's musk in this. There's a lot of musk in this. This is an incredibly musky perfume. If you do not like musk, you will not like this. I'm going to spray it on my hand. I haven't smelled it in a while, so I need kind of a refresher on this. I'm going to reek of it all night, though. And that's another thing about this. It lasts. The tenacity on this is incredible. It lasts and lasts and lasts. And I think that's because that there's such a high amount of musk in it. When you first spray it, you get the cinnamon and the orange blossom right away. And then when it starts to soften, you get the musk really comes through. And then it almost has like a potpourri quality, like it smells like dried fruits. It's really nice. It's really, really nice. The only thing I guess the only downside of this perfume is I think there's almost I usually would be the last person on earth to say this because I love musky scents, but I think there's almost a little bit too much musk in it, because after the orange blossom and the cinnamon fade away, you're really just left with musk, and those top notes fade out within the first hour and a half, and all you're left with is musk. Now, if you really like musk, you'd really like this. If not, you'd hate it. So overall, it's a very spicy, warm, citrusy, musky Oriental. It's really nice, and it is very original. I really can't compare this to anything. I can't think of any comparatives off the top of my head because it's just very distinctive. But like I said, after the first hour and a half, you're pretty much just left with musk that has a hint of magnolia, like a very soft floral quality. The next scent that I'm going to review is Elixir de Merveilles. What I get from this is a salty, it smells like salted oranges, and I believe the salty quality comes from the ambroxan. Ambroxan is a lab-derived version of ambergris, and it smells very similar to ambergris, which is kind of a salty oceanic quality. Whenever I smell this perfume, it's very evocative. I think of a party with mimosas on a marina at night. You know, you get the salty ocean air, you get the orange from the mimosas. It has an airy quality, but it also has a slightly gourmand quality. I believe that there's dark chocolate in this. It's very subtle. It's not overtly gourmand. It's still, I believe this is marketed as a unisex scent, but to me it leans more towards, a little bit more towards masculine. The next scent that I want to review is, this is by Annick Goutal, and the scent is called Les Mimosa. This just literally smells like mimosa, cumin, and a little bit of wood. It's a very simple composition. It is an eau de toilette, and it is clear, and it does look like a very light scent, but it actually has surprisingly good sillage and tenacity. It does last a pretty good long time. On my skin, this lasts maybe about 5 hours. People have said, and I agree with this, that cumin has a kind of personal, almost like a body odor smell. And it kind of has that a little bit. So it gives it, instead of just being like flowery and sweet, like so many floral scents can be, especially nowadays, I think the cumin and the wood really prevent it from being overly feminine and sweet. And I would even venture to say that this could be marketed as a unisex scent, because even though it does have mimosa flower in it, it's really not all that sweet. I really get the notes that stand out to me most prominently in this are the wood and the cumin. I don't know if there's cumin in it, but I smell cumin, and other people have said this in reviews too, in blogs online as well. and that's why I'm mentioning it. And then the Mimosa is just kind of like in the background. Now, the last scent that I'm going to review is a Miller Harris perfume, and this is La de Rien by Jane Birkin. The concept behind this fragrance is that when Jane Birkin collaborated with the people at Miller Harris, the perfumiers at Miller Harris, she said that she really didn't like most perfumes. She found them to be cloying and just a little too much for her. So she wanted to create something that just smelled very natural and just light. And interestingly enough, this scent does smell very natural, but it's not light at all. When I first spray this on, I get a really dusty, like almost like dried oak moss. If you know what oak moss smells like, it's kind of a bitter vegetal quality. And then like I get a sharp patchouli note, a very, very, very subtle hint of lemon. And that's pretty much it. It just smells kind of, it's got a dirty quality because I think there's patchouli in it. Also the oak moss gives it a little bit of an earthy vegetal quality. And then whatever flower or citrus is in there kind of lifts it from being too dirty. I think out of my entire collection, this scent has the most tenacity. I mean, it just lasts forever. And I guess I shouldn't say I'm totally surprised because Miller Harris perfumes are very expensive. I paid a pretty penny for that perfume, but to me it was well worth it because it's a gorgeous scent and it lasts forever. I literally need to apply that on once and it will last me all day. Okay, so the next scent that I'm reviewing is Bronze Goddess by Estee Lauder. This actually was not requested, and I wanted to mention this just as an honorable mention. And there's a couple different flankers of Bronze Goddess, and the bottle's gorgeous. As you can see, like the bottle's bespecked with this kind of glittery enamel. It's really pretty. It doesn't flake off. Like, it's really nice. It stays on the bottle. But yeah, and the cap has this kind of almost 70s-esque pinstriping, multicolored pinstripe going on. It's really neat. But it is an eau de toilette. It doesn't last very long. This fades on me in about 2.5 to 3 hours, so I have to reapply this a lot. But I believe for $55 you get 3.4 ounces, so you get what you pay for. That's not bad. But it just smells like the beach. And so it smells like salty ocean air and coconut water, and not a fake corn syrupy candy coconut, but like actual coconut water, like very subtly sweet coconut. And I think there's a little bit of musk and some type of floral in there, but very subtle, maybe like jasmine, like a very anemic jasmine. Let me spray it. It's weird to spray it on my finger, but I think that's one of the only parts of my body that's not covered in perfume at this moment. So that's what I have to do. Yeah, it just smells really warm. And it kind of, people have said, and I agree with this, it kind of does smell like suntan lotion. So if you don't like that smell, I don't recommend you buying this. But it kind of does smell like suntan lotion. And I grew up on the ocean, and I used suntan lotion like frequently. So it brings back fond memories for me personally. And it just smells very warm. Like, it smells very toasty and warm and salty. It's just a great scent. If there are any other scents that you would like me to review, just let me know. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. That's always appreciated. Thanks for watching. Bye.